Welcome to the video. My name's Steven. In this video, I want to talk about a comment that I got from one of my recent videos, 3 people you should avoid. If you haven't seen the video, go check it out now. And somebody said, what do I do when I'm forced to be around these people? So the video was about 3 people you should avoid. And he saying he's forced to be around these kind of people, and he put in parentheses school. Um, now, I commented back, and I just feel like my comment didn't do it justice. So I'm going to make an entire video on it explaining what it's like to be forced to be around certain kinds of people that you should avoid. I was talking about like narcissistic people, um, people who, you know, envy you, who like ridicule you, just mean people overall. Again, if you haven't seen the video, go check it out now. But I saw this comment and I just felt like I had to make a video on it. If you like this content, if you like the stuff we're discussing, go ahead and click the subscribe button. We've just reached 100 followers. I'm going to do a special for the 100 followers. I don't know what, but I'm going to figure it out. So yeah, that's going to happen at some point. So if you have an idea, leave a comment in the comment section and I will do something for the 100 subscriber special. Thank you guys for subscribing. Seriously, it means a lot. The channel in the last, I think, month has grown by 50%. And I just, like, it's crazy to me that I've even just gotten to 100 followers. Like, it's crazy, or 100 subscribers. Like, it's crazy to me how we've gotten this far. But yeah, what do you do when you're forced to be around toxic people? This sucks. I'll just say this hands down. I know what it's like to be around toxic people. I have, for my entire life, lived with toxic people. I've gone to school with toxic people. I've been in the same friend group. It sucks, especially when it's like there's no getting away from it. This person is just always there, or these people are always there, right? Like haters, they're just there, right? And I understand how hard it can be when it's like, yeah, you live with this person, you go to school with this person, you're on the same team with this person or whatever, right? They go to the same gym as you, see them all the time. It's very hard to stay away from them, even if you've tried, right? Like they always keep coming back, it feels like. So I have a couple tips, and this is directly speaking to the person in the comment section. So I'm going to be talking about in school. School's pretty big, so you do have a way to get away from the person. So you can always like distance yourself. If they sit on one side of the classroom, sit on the other. If they, uh, go certain routes in the hallway, you can, take a different route. But I will have some like tangible ways that you can actually take care of these people. And the first one I'll say is like fight back, straight up fight back. You know, if you're a lot like me and you're like big on self improvement or you're starting a business, it's really hard because you have these weird tendencies, proclivities, right, that you do. And people will make fun of that because you are not a part of the norm, right? Like, if I don't even, like, if you come into my room, there's like papers all over the walls with like my work hours and my um, habit tracker and like my push up tracker and I have a whiteboard in here with all this crap written on it and like all these books everywhere, and that's like not normal for people our age. Let's just be real. I mean, I'm 21 years old, so the people my age are out drinking at bars, they're doing drugs, hanging out with their buddies on the weekend, and I just don't do that stuff. And so I understand it can be hard, especially if you're in high school and you're big on self improvement and you're trying to better your life. And maybe you do like monk mode protocol, like you watched the Iman Gotzi video where you talked about that, or maybe you read a lot of books. And the biggest thing here is I think that our problem is that we are high in conscientiousness. And because of that, we are very analytical and we take things logically instead of emotionally. So a lot of these guys, some of these guys just might be messing with you. Like they might just say something. They're like, oh, yeah. And you kind of take it to heart because you look at it more logically. Like you look at what the logical fallacy in what they said. So, for example, somebody says, and I think I used this example in the video, oh, you look great today, better than you looked last time I saw you. In your head, you can see the diss. Like you can see where they're kind of talking shit. If you saw my envy video, I made a video on 4 signs that someone's envious of you. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I'm uploading it literally right now. In that video, I talked about how people will backbite and they'll like gossip about you, since you're high in conscientiousness, you take it to heart. And I would do it like this. I would say, don't take it to heart. Obviously they don't understand your situation. You don't understand theirs. But if someone's going to say something to you, fight back, say something to them, right? Oh, you're talking shit to me. I'm going to talk shit to you, right? Because see, if it in your case, if it's like a bully, which is kind of my thought process, like a bully's only going to attack a weak person, and that's actually like a big narcissistic trait, right? And even like dark manipulators, dark psychology. Here we go. This book right here. This book right here. I've been reading this book for like the past 2 days, and it's called Dark Psychology and Manipulation, and I love this book. Like, I seriously, this book talks about everything, like literally everything. It actually broke down Robert Cialdini's Influence book, which was a long book, and honestly, you should read that book too. But he literally broke it down in like 3 pages, 7 pages, and it was lit. And it was just a nice refresher. But this book right here is insane. A lot of it, he talks about covert emotional manipulation techniques, and I think that the biggest thing is the narcissist. See, a lot of bullies have this narcissistic tendency where it's all about them, and you are giving them approval. You're giving them what they want by being upset, right? They want to emotionally disturb you if that's what's happening, or they want your attention, or they want you to go home and think about them. It's weird, but it's like, and they won't say it out loud or even to themselves subconsciously, but like it's there in the back of their mind. They want the approval from you. The approval that they're getting from you is that they're up here, you're down here, and they're going to keep attacking you down here. They're going to keep attacking your emotions, and you're going to keep submitting every time. When in reality, this is probably what it's more like. You're actually up here, right? Because you're better. Let's just be real. You're probably better than them, just in a general sense of like, you work harder, you do more, you're a better person, you're more uplifting, and they're attacking you because they want what you have. They envy you, and they can't get it. So instead, they're just going to attack you for your traits. So that's one way, is to just fight back, because if you fight back, now you've leveled yourself out, and they can't attack. So yeah, so I guess the 2 ways I've talked about so far is to just ignore them or to fight back. And then the next one that I will give you, and this works all the time, I love using it, and this actually comes from Alex Hormozi. But basically, whenever somebody says something to you that might hurt your feelings or might be kind of rude, you can just say okay, and right, that's his little phrase, okay, and it's like you admitting, yeah, sure, that's me, right? And obviously, it doesn't, like, if you really think about it, it doesn't matter what they think about you, for sure. So like if someone tries to say, oh, you're stupid, you'd be like, okay, and right. So in their mind, they're now getting the assurance that you're stupid to them. In your mind, based on past proof, that you are not stupid. So you don't take it to heart, and you just go, okay, and right, like, what's your point? And then they're like, oh, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Like, I've even had, there was one time, this is so perfect. I had a buddy of mine, he was drunk one night, and I ran into him, and he just looked at me, and he gave me this mean look, and he looked me up and down, like, and I just knew in my head, I was like, watch, he's gonna say something kind of rude just to mess with me because I'm not drunk with them right now. And he said, you're short. And I just said, and you're tall. And then he started smiling, and he gave me a hug, like that. Like, it just flipped like that. But it's that little bit of like, maybe, this is a good friend of mine. I love him, but he was definitely just looking for something to say, talk shit, right? And I just said, and you're tall. And he was like, oh, okay. And then like everything was cool. The other way from Alex Hormozi that I really liked is to just straight up tell somebody, hey man, don't talk to me like that. And it's interesting, like, you gotta you don't want to look like a little nerd, like, hey bro, don't talk to me like that. Kind of have like, hold your demeanor when you say it. Like, look them in the eyes and say, hey man, I don't appreciate that. Don't talk to me like that. And it might make the room quiet, and people might be like, oh shit, like, this guy's standing up for himself. But on top of that, guess who it's embarrassing for? Like, it might be embarrassing for you to say it, but it's even more embarrassing for the person that you said it to. And then at that point, now is your opportunity to treat that person how to speak to you and how to act around you. Because if that person does not know, then they will continue to do the behavior, right? So it's like, it's like a stove, you know, like a little kid, and he goes to touch the stove, and then mom's like, "Hey, don't touch that stove. You're gonna burn yourself." And half the time, people don't listen until they actually get burned, and then when they get burned, they realize, okay, I need to not touch the stove. You say, "Hey, don't talk to me like that," and then you can change the way they talk to you. You can change their behavior right there. This is your time to change the way that they're acting. So, hey, don't talk to me like that. I don't appreciate when you say XYZ. Please don't say that again. Or like, just don't consider me a friend. And that's when they understand, like, they cannot do that anymore. And they will stop 90% of the time. Like, the one time I think I ever did this, there was this friend of mine, and we were at this party. It was like a long time ago. And she was talking shit about like one of my friends to me. And she like wouldn't stop. And she always did it, always did it. And it was like super annoying. And one day I just said, "Hey, do not talk about my friend like that. Seriously." Or like, "I just will not be friends with you." And it was like super awkward. Everyone got quiet. But I was serious. I was like, don't talk about my friend like that. And ever since that happened, never once has she ever said anything about my friend like that ever again. Never once. Right. But I was serious about it. And stand your ground. Like if they continue to treat you that way, like make it very clear, like say to them, like, "Look, bro, I don't want to associate with you. You're a negative person. I don't want to be around you." Okay. You can change your behavior and then we can be friends again. Right. But until you change behaviors, go eat at another table. Like you can distance yourself, you can get away from them. But if there's a point where you cannot get away from that person, straight up tell them how they're acting and then tell them to fix the behavior. I stay away from a lot of people. Like I just choose not to speak to people and associate with people because of the way they've treated me in the past. And just like, yeah, it's hard. You know, you do something good for yourself. You make a um, I don't know. You're a good person, and then someone tries to just degrade what you do for a living, what you work on, the life that you have, your propensities. They degrade that because they don't have that, right? The only reason why someone talks shit about you is because there's an inner insecurity that they are feeding by talking shit to you. This is a great example when somebody's like really hard on you. Like if you have like a football coach who's like super hard on you all the time, it's probably because he sees some of himself in you and he wants you to be better because he knows the kind of person you are. He knows who you are. Deep inside, you're a pussy, and he wants you to be better. That's what happened to me when I played football. I was such a pussy in high school, just to be completely honest. And I don't even know if I can use that word on YouTube, but whatever. Um, and this guy, my football coaches, they would always just talk so much shit to me. Like out of anybody else, they would talk shit to me. Why? Because they knew I had potential and they knew I was good, except there was this little barrier with me in football where it was like I just wouldn't be aggressive and I wouldn't like do what is required. And that was my problem, man. Like if I could go back to football now, I would crush it, you know. But back in the day, I was just such a bitch, and it just wasn't gonna happen. My last piece of advice, and I heard this from a Hamza video, and it was like on a similar topic. But basically, this guy had commented, and he said like, people are only gonna kick you in the back and talk behind your back when you're leading in the front. So just know that like that's how it's gonna like Jesus had people talk down on him because he's and even still like you can I actually saw like a TikTok where the guy looked up like I hate Muslims or whatever and like you couldn't search it. And then he looked up like I hate LGBTQ and like you couldn't search it because like there was it was like expressing hate towards specific groups, right? And then there was like another like I hate black people or something like that. And then the last one was I hate Jesus, but like all this stuff popped up, man. Why? Because he's doing something right. There's this psychology experiment done a long time ago where they had these monkeys and they put the monkeys in the room. So there's four monkeys. They have a ladder, and at the top of the ladder is like the escape, or there's like a banana or something. I don't know. It's something that the monkeys would want to go to the top of the ladder for. So the first monkey tries to climb up the ladder, and as he climbs up the ladder, sprinklers turn on, and all the monkeys get wet, and he falls off the ladder. Whatever. The second monkey tries to climb up the ladder. The sprinklers turn on again. Except this time, all the monkeys beat up the second monkey. Now, the third monkey tries to climb up the ladder, and they beat up the third monkey. Now they replace the first monkey with the fifth monkey. So there's four monkeys in the room, except the first one was replaced with a new one. And the new one tries to climb the ladder, and they turn on the sprinklers and they beat up the monkey again. At some point, they end up replacing all the monkeys in the room with new monkeys. And every single one of the monkeys tries to climb the ladder. And every time a monkey tries to climb the ladder, all the other monkeys pull them off and beat them up. Here's the funny part, though. At some point, they stop turning on the sprinklers. The monkeys have now associated the ladder, climbing the ladder, with bad. The new monkey doesn't know, tries to climb the ladder, gets pulled down by the other monkeys, and they beat him up. And the monkeys that are beating him up don't even know why. They just know that they beat the guy that tries to go up the ladder because all the other people did, or all the other monkeys did it. And that's exactly what happens in modern society. As soon as you try to climb the ladder, as soon as you try to be different, people talk shit. There's something about them that they don't have that's in you, and they see that, so they're going to degrade that. It's just how it goes. So, okay, and walk away, fight back, and then the last one, tell them how to treat you. If they don't listen to that, I don't know. That should be it. That should actually like kill it. That should do it. Like, I think if none of that works, I don't know. You're at school too. Like, you don't want to have to be the guy that like has to go get the teacher, but like if you try all that stuff and you don't like you stand up for yourself and like it doesn't work, like honestly, don't go get a fucking teacher, bro. Figure that shit out yourself. Like, fight back, bro. I wouldn't say punch them, but like if they're not listening after enough time, like you need to stand up for yourself somehow. I'm gonna leave it at that. You can take that however you want to, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any other thoughts on this and you're like not the guy I'm talking to, put comments and like give your opinion on like how to stay away from toxic people, because it's hard, it sucks, and yeah. Well, I hope you have a great day, and stick around. 100 subscriber special is coming. I don't know what to do yet, so comment that as well. And thank you for watching. Stop scrolling on social media because that shit is horrible for you, and that's where all the toxic people live.